Please tell me this sound now, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know in the live chat if there's sound. Um, Let me know now that if it's better, if it is working. Yes. Okay. Thanks, guys. Sorry. Yeah, my computer needs to go in for repairs, so I'm using a different computer. So I'm sorry about that. First and foremost, as you guys know, welcome to the show. South Africa obviously winning the third the third and final ODI to level the series. Um, and Heinrich Klaassen needs to get plaudits for that. He was phenomenal in his performance today, and he needs to take praise for that, as well as Marco Jansen. But it kind of papered over the cracks when it comes to our batting performance. So I think there are still batting issues that we need to talk about. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things obviously I need you guys to do. As I asked before, you need to subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. I also want you guys to please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And if you want to help us grow and promote South African cricket, become a Patreon today. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. And go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all regular updates. Also, smash that like button, comment, and share, please. That's how we get into the algorithm. But the likes are very important, guys. So please smash the like button. Okay, without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with the West Indies versus South Africa, the final ODI. And it was a little bit of a bittersweet game for me, I would say. Um, South Africa won the toss and they opted to bowl first. And it was an interesting one. There was a lot of contributions from the West Indian team, but everybody getting starts and no one really kicking on other than Brandon King, really. Puran got close. Jason Holder got some fire under his belt as well. A fire in his belly, and he went for a quick one. He tried to get some runs on the board as well. But ultimately, they were bowled out for 260. And the key wicket takers were Marco Jansen, Purefontaine, and Gerald Coetzee, with Aiden Markram also bowling beautifully with 1 for 30 after 10. He was also phenomenal in this match, bringing himself on with a 3 economy rate after 10 overs. He bowled fantastically. He had 34 maidens in his spells, which was excellent. It was a phenomenal 34 dot balls, sorry, not maidens, 34 dot balls in his spell, which was phenomenal from his part. So I think it was brilliant from him. But the main guy in today and the main plaudits has to go to Heinrich Klaassen. He saved the series. Heinrich Klaassen was phenomenal with the bat today. I mean, he looked like everything was coming out of the middle of the bat. He got 119 of 61 deliveries. I think he's the third fastest, or the second fastest to second fastest 100 for South Africa after AB de Villiers, who's done it, I think, on 2 occasions. So he was phenomenal with his 119 of 61, and as well as Marco Jansen with 43 of 33 balls. They were exquisite today, and they got South Africa into a winning position. And Heinrich Klaassen obviously getting us over the line. He was hitting at a strike rate of 195. He got 5 sixes and 15 fours in his knock. He was phenomenal today, and it's unfortunate that South Africa in recent times seem to be relying on one person or one player to dig them out of a hole. It happened in the Test series with regards to Aiden Markram in the first Test, as well as Bavuma in the second Test, and then we've got Heinrich Klaassen in this game, and in the previous game, obviously Temba Bavuma tried to get us over the line, but failed. So I would like to see a lot more consistency from our top order. Yes, our top order has been switched around a bit. It's been switched around quite a bit, and we're not having that consistency at the top of the order, which we always want to see. And I mean, everybody wants to see that. Today we got an opportunity to see a new opening pair, something different, something that hasn't been trialed and tested before. With Temba Bavuma out injured, they decided to go with Tony DeZorzi, and dropped Quinton de Kock for Ryan Rickleton. So because when I look at it, I'm trying to look at the positives in it, and I feel that Timba and Quinny come as a pair. The way they open the batting together is phenomenal, and I think that together they are fantastic as an opening partnership. So dropping the one, that I think they thought maybe let's try a new partnership, brand new, because what's the point of giving Quinny now another partner to open up with, that is maybe not ever going to open up with, because Riza's not there. Also, he was also out injured, and then Temba Bavuma, the two guys that will most likely open with him. So they gave two new guys an opening opportunity, and they looked good from the start. They started off okay, until Ryan Rickleton threw his wicket away. Um, it's unfortunate that Ryan isn't finding his footing in international cricket quite yet. I know there's a lot of guys out there that wanted him to be in the team. Um, we've all called for him because of his domestic form, but that transition into international cricket hasn't clicked for him quite yet. So it is something that we need to look at as a team as a whole. Let's get into the live chat, because I mean this is what's important. If you guys do want to call in on the show, I'm going to post it now in the live chat. You guys can just click on it in the live chat if you guys want to call into the show. Um, I will try to pin it to the live chat now so that you guys can have access to it. Um, Let me just have a go quickly. So let me get into the live chat and what you guys have had to say so far. Um, Klaasen and Stubbs has now shown they can play the role of a lower order batter, someone who can come on and get going. So are we going on form or potential here? Forget SA20 form. Currently, you have to go on. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Um, it depends on what the coaches want ultimately. And I know that's maybe sitting on the fence over here. Sorry guys, I wanna pin this to the top of the live chat so you guys know that it's there for you guys to call in. Let me just sign in properly. I mean, yeah, no, I didn't expect what happened to me today have to happen to me. I wasn't planning on it at all. So now all my life is all turned upside down over here with regards to this. Um, Cool. Let's put to the top of the chat. Um, I think they're going to go. I think they're going to have to go on form, leading into the World Cup. They can't go on potential in the World Cup. I've always said that. I think give potential opportunities to prove themselves before a World Cup, but when it comes to the World Cup stages, you're going to have to go on form. And who's the best currently in form? The next argument will be again: if you're good enough, you're old enough. Just saying. Um, what is the difference between Temba's T20 and Markram's ODI position? Um, there isn't much. At the moment, Aiden Markram needs to perform with the bat. I'm a big fan of his, and I have been a supporter of him for a very long time. But he hasn't been giving us what we know he can with the bat in ODI cricket. It's quite a puzzle and a mystery to a lot of us to understand, because we've seen what this guy can do in the white ball arena. In T20s, we saw what he can do in test, and in red ball cricket in test, we can see what he's doing. And when he plays domestically in the one day cups, etc., he's devastating and difficult to control. I don't know what it is with his transition into ODIs and what is keeping him back. The biggest frustration with Aiden for me is that he keeps on getting himself out. It's not rare. It's very rare that he actually gets a good delivery and gets bowled or whatever the case may be, or gets strapped LBW because of a setup. Generally speaking, he gives his wicket away. Either fishes outside off, or hits the ball, or goes too quickly, too early, and then skies the ball and gets caught out. Very often he gets himself out. So that's my concern with regards to him. Um, This Klassen is by far one of the dominating innings I've seen in a while. It was a fantastic innings from Klassen. We have to give him the props for that. He was fantastic today. I think we have to give it up for Klassen 100%. And a guy, let's not forget Jansen's innings. He showed maturity and stability at such a young age to hold it out for Klassen. He's done this on plenty of occasions now. I think we need to start giving him his props for his batting ability. I know he's not quite the number seven yet, but I don't mind him batting at seven at the moment. Given our other all rounders that we have available to us, unless we're going to go with seven batters, Marco Janssen should be seven, in my opinion. Every single time we've been in a pressure situation, he's helped us stick around, or he's helped us um, add a little bit extra runs. He did it in the Test series again in Centurion, and he's done it again here for the white ball side. He did it for SEC in the T20 arena as well, winning games for them single-handedly at the end, at the back end. So he's with the bat, and he's showing his amazing ability with the bat too. So he needs to get props for that as well. Kudos to Rob for trying something new with the opening pair. It might not have been what people wanted to see, what was necessary for the team's development. Joey says, don't come with capability nonsense. 50 matches, average of 28. Stop your games. Markram is in the team, bat and to score runs. Markram, you're right, Joey. He's had a very, very long, he's had enough chances in this ODI team to show what he's capable of. The management seem to trust him and want to give him more opportunities. Um, but at this point, at the moment, there is a question mark over his ability at the moment in the 50 over arena, and we need to figure out what it is. Aiden needs to go back to the drawing board again and figure out what is wrong with his ability in 50 over cricket and why he's not able to get the runs on the board. Markram has the game to play both T20 and 50 over format in international cricket. We don't need a Temba Bavuma in T20 cricket. You know why? Because we don't need a Rasi who did well. Okay. Markram should be in the team. He has been required one big innings to settle him in ODIs, but all he is one of the best batters. Just need to believe in him. I mean, they believed in him. They believed in him for a very, very long time, giving him plenty of opportunities. It's about time now. I feel that Markram shows us what he's capable of, in my opinion. Um, let's move down to a little bit closer to the bottom of the comment section over here, to the guys that are actually been um, giving me chats recently. They've offered him a central contract, Rickerton, so there's a clear plan for him by CSA. There is. At some point, we need to see that reward. Um, we shouldn't be too hasty with him. He hasn't had many games for South Africa quite yet. My concern is the way he's going out more than anything else. With a guy like Tony Rizorzi at the moment, you can see something there. He just needs that extra bit of something to just take him over the line to get those milestones a lot more often. But you can see a sense of belonging. Whereas with Ryan at the moment, he doesn't look comfortable. And that's my concern at the moment, is that he doesn't Test cricket at the moment. I feel that Klassen doesn't necessarily look very comfortable at the crease in Test cricket. But when you see him in one-day cricket or in T20 cricket, he looks like he's at home. He plays his natural game. There's no fear in his eyes. He just goes out there and bats, looks at the conditions and plays. So, yeah, it's something that we need to look at when it comes to Ryan and some of the younger players. I think this new management of Rob wants the batters to keep going, taking on the bowlers no matter what. I like this approach, says Dex. Um, Klaasen is way ahead of Tristan in ODIs. Yes, he is at the moment. I mean, it's clear. I mean, Klaasen's now the fourth fastest to 1,000 runs in ODI cricket, I think. So, I mean, it's plain to see the guy scores hundreds and fifties. I mean, Tristan hasn't necessarily done anything yet for South Africa for us to really say, you know what, he deserves the starting position in the team. Miller can still play that finishing role. I would love Miller to bat higher up. Of course, everybody wants that. But if you have him in the team and he's good at that six role, then I feel play him there. Um, Aiden has to score 50s in ODIs. Also, I think Aiden should play one down or open. Um, Even though Van der Dussen had a poor series, he averages 63 in ODI cricket, staggering. Look here, we can't judge Rassi on just one innings. I mean, he's been on the sidelines for quite some time. He hasn't played in Test cricket. He hasn't really played much cricket since the SA20. So 2 games back didn't look that good, but it's Rassi van der Dussen. I mean, his average speaks for itself. So I wouldn't be too hasty with Rassi quite yet. Um, it's one bad series out of how many games did he play? Shamil Jacob saying time to recall Yanaman. See, Yanaman at the moment is an issue because he hasn't necessarily put up the numbers either in domestic cricket, so he's terribly out of form. So if we bring Yanaman back into the team based on reputation, then there's other players that should be brought into team for the reputation as well. You can only be fair in that manner. So it is a bit concerning at the moment with Yanaman, but there's still a play in there. He's still young. He can still fight back for his spot in the team. There's going to be a lot of changes in this ODI team between now and the 2027 World Cup. Constant chopping and change in the team. I don't like against Dutch. All experienced players to play, no newbie. If Aiden doesn't score against Dutch, then drop him. Um, that's a fair. That's a fair statement. Best South African ODI lineups from Jonathan and Trisha Vlogs. Quentin de Kock, Aiden Markram, Jordan Herman, but David Miller, Deva Brevis, Marco Jansson, Keshav Maharaj, Kagiso Rabada, Jero Kutsia, and Annik Nokia. So I don't. I, I want to give Jordan Herman and Deva Brevis a little bit more time in domestic cricket to prove to play a little longer, to get some more experience before we throw them into the Sharks in ODI cricket. Me personally. Um, Ryan has too many technical faults. He has to improve. That is true. Um, Klaassen will only be a replacement if one of the top six are injured, even though he played brilliantly today. Um, I don't necessarily think that's true because I think that if you take our best 11, we can have Quinton, Temba, Rassi, Aiden if he pulls himself together, um, Klaassen, and David Miller at six. That can be our top six. And if it's not Aiden Markram, then you can throw maybe someone like um, Riza Hendricks into the mix as well, um, and bat Rassi at four. But some people might say that's a very slow-minded type of top four. Youngsters also not pushing anyone's position. That's why selectors giving have keep giving them the same players chances. Rickleton, Dezozi is not grabbing a chance. We can't expect everybody to score on debuts though. Like that's not how the world works. Like not everybody's gonna hit the ground running and start scoring 50s and centuries on their debut. Some might not. Some that do don't go on to be great players either. It works both ways. So each player needs to be monitored individually, and I think that each player they need to look at each player's flaws. They need to look at each player what is bothering them, what's not working with them, and they need to work on it to try and get them to the level that they can be. Khalid, it's crazy that Stubbs is nationally contracted. It feels like yesterday when you were congratulating him together with Libba for the SIA selection. Yeah, it wasn't so long ago, eh? It's crazy that he's contracted already. I was a little bit shocked that he did get a contract. I guess that's basically um, that's basically um, got to do with the fact that he played in a World Cup. I think that is a major part in their decision that he played in the T20 World Cup. And they see him as a mainstay in the T20 arena. And then, of course, Stubbsy a future player in the one day arena. So I think that's what they're looking at. Um, and that's maybe why they got the contract. But I feel for some other players that lost contracts. I feel for Verena. I feel for Linda. Um, I mean, they have never gotten contracts before. They've been playing beautifully in domestic cricket. They played well for the Proteas when they got opportunities as well. So it is quite sad that they have not been contracted or are not being backed. Um, Markram bowl and we need pure batsmen. You want to replace Risa with Markram, not Risa with Markram. That's not the like for like swap, because they're not the same type of player at all. Um, Markram, for me, I don't want to replace him. I said that he's in my top six, but he needs to get his act together with the bat, despite what he does with the ball. The bat comes first for me. Really like Klassen for his positive attacking gameplay. No matter the situation, this is what England do, and they are so successful. Okay, we've got a caller on the line. We've got Ashwani with us. Welcome to the show, bro. What would you like to say? Ashwani seem to be having technical issues with Ashwani. So you'll have to come back and call in later. Um, Agashen says another problem for these new guys is that they are not given enough chances to play international matches. And it also doesn't help that we don't play as much cricket as some other countries. And that's the problem. They don't get enough games internationally to actually learn to improve on their craft. That's why the coaches are going to have a big job on their hands. They're going to have to, and the analysts, they're going to have to analyze and see where the problems are as quick as possible, diagnose it, and then try to help them. Vereina's ODI career so far 48, 50, 62, 13, 12, 95, 21, 58, 9. But certain players get 50 chances. It's true. Our bowling has been poor as well in power play and middle over, lack of taking wickets in the middle overs. Aiden should be ODI captain. Bavuma has lost too many ODI games and no one talks about it. Bro, I mean, come on, you've had an agenda against Temba from day one. I mean, even when Temba scores a 140, you can't even congratulate the guy. Our top six for the World Cup are basically settled. Just need a top order replacement batter, Riza, Tony DeZorzi, and a middle order replacement. Take your pick. Okay, so we've got a call on the line. We've got Ashwani with us. Welcome to the show, buddy. What would you like to say?
Yeah, hello Khalid, how are you?
I'm
Yeah,
fine,
I
listening.
think I watched a little bit highlights of Klaasen's inning and he looks superb today. I will like to say that it's the carnage from Henrik Klaasen. Uh, but this series, I think it's not in the Super League. I'm right? Yeah, yeah.
Not Super League. Yeah.
So I think it's good that South Africa is experimenting with the team, and I think the guys who got the chances, the likes of Ryan Nicholton, Tony DeZorzi, Gerald Coetzee. I think Coetzee is looks very promising to me, and this guy has a great future. Uh, this guy has that aggression of Dale Steyn and reminds me of bit of like Andre Neil to me. So I think this guy is the positive for me in this series. Apart from Tampa century and obviously Klaasen played that brilliant knock, 100 from I think 54 balls, third fastest in terms of South Africa, AB and after Mark Boucher. So I think what I saw in this series, I think South Africa need to find at least two spots for their up for the upcoming World Cup. The I think the replacement batters for the opening squad and for the middle order, I think they can pick one or two players which can give them that settled squad. And one thing which I want to add, obviously the guys like Johnson played really well. He has shown that he has that all round ability. But I think for the World Cup, which is happened to be in India, that subcontinent, I think they needed their spin bowling all rounder, which I think South Africa lacks. Uh, obviously, I have no grudges with Johnson that why he's playing at seven. But I think if they pick that spin bowling all rounder, the likes of George Lind, because if you see the other teams likes of Australia have uh, the likes of that left armer. Don't remember his name. India has obviously the Jadejas, Akshar Patels. England is playing with Moeen Ali, and obviously Bangladesh have Shakib Ali, Shakib Al Hasan. Pakistan has that leg spinner all-rounder Shadab. So I think every team has that spin bowling all-rounder. So South Africa in that department is I think it's a little bit lagging. So I think they should try in that aspect, because obviously they are winning in South Africa and that's good. But I think if you want to go in far in this tournament, you have to play team according to the, you can say, the conditions. So I think South Africa should find that spin bowling all-rounder, and George Linde, or the other players who can bowl a little bit of spin.
Mm. There aren't actually a lot of spinning all rounders in South African domestic cricket doing well,
Yes.
besides George Linder and Kyle Simmons. Maybe is another one that you can throw into the
Yes,
mix,
yes, of
perhaps.
course.
But I think Kyle Simmons, maybe it's a little bit premature for him because I mean George Linder's already played for South Africa. We know what he can give us. So it is quite shocking that he's been left out of the teams and he hasn't been selected in squads recently. It was quite a shock for me. But do you think that if you have a guy like Aiden that can bowl like he did today,
Yeah.
if he can just sort out his batting in the top order, he can kind of fill that role in a way, don't you think, Ashwani? Even though he's not in the bottom of the order.
Yeah, I think if you look at that South Africa's lineup, I think Eden should bat at three or fourth position, and if you look at other players, their best batters is probably played at three or four positions. The likes of Virat Smith, Joe Root as well, for Babar Azam, who is batting at three and four. So I think and in that position, your main role is to, you can say that, maneuvering the innings and control the innings, and in that regard, Adams' role is very crucial. So at that far, in white ball cricket, whatever the potential he has got, we all love Eden Markram's potential. And we saw what he has done in this red ball series. But I think because the chances are very limited, obviously there's a high chances that he will play the World Cup. The guys like Eden Markram has to prove that why they are highly rated, and why the South African public and the fans like us, why they want him to stay in the team, and he has to show it, because you can't stay in the team for 20s, 30s, 40s. And similar with Tamba Uma is obviously scoring good 30, 40s. And if you saw the difference between his 100, he scored last test 100 in 2016, and now he has scored 100 in 2023. Obviously, I'm not criticizing Tamba Uma. He's South Africa's best red ball batsman, but I think the 100 that he scored in 2016 and 23, there's a gap of 7 years. So I don't want that your best player taking too much gaps between 100 to uh, another 100. Same with Adam Markham. Adam Markham is now has a reputation of a senior player, along with Quinton de Kock, Tamba Uma, Rassi van der Dressen, and same, he can take the cue from David Miller. David Miller from the past, before 2020 and before 2019, he's not your, you can say that he's not performing that consistently, which he now is performing. His
Mm.
average is, I think, 61 from 2020 onwards. So Adam Markram has to take up that role, because he's important part in the middle order, and the role of number three and number four is very crucial in subcontinent conditions.
Mm. I mean, I personally would love to see Aiden
Yeah,
Markham open the
yeah,
batting where he actually, I feel his strength actually.
yeah.
Opening or number three, I mean, for the Titans, he's been at three and opening, so he's done both roles. But I like him as an opener against the new ball. But Ashwani, thanks a lot for tuning in and calling in. I'll chat to you very soon, bro. I just need to get another caller on the line. Cool. Okay, guys, so we've got another caller. I've got Jonathan with me. Welcome to the show, Jonathan. What would you like to say? Just unmute your mic.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now perfectly.
How's it
Thank you.
going, man?
I'm good, and you, man?
Good, good. Yeah, listen, I think a lot of people with in regards to Temba Bavuma, I think because in the past he was giving chance after chance after chance, but I do think recently he's upped his game a notch. So, I mean, all credit to him. I used to not be a fan of Hashim Amla as well. I remember in the beginning they gave him chance after chance, but eventually he turned out to be one of the best batsmen we ever produced. So I think, I mean, for now, as long as he's consistent, Bavuma, I think he's all good. I do think you got to give some credit to Markham. I do think in the test match recently, I think he wasn't it the last test he got 100. Was it the
Yeah,
last, the third one? Or what?
he
No,
got
sorry, there was two test matches against West Indies. Didn't he knock 100?
he again in Centurion he hit 100, yes, and a
Yeah.
50, I think it was in a second. I think.
Yeah, and I mean, so since then he's only played this one day international. So I mean, I think he's on pretty good form at the moment. Just give him a chance. But I'm actually the guy who wrote in the XI. I think that Markham should actually open with the cock. And I know you like say we should give those other guys a chance, like Harriman and Devald Pretoria. What's it? Yeah, they should play a bit longer. But then again, look at who's this Dezorzi, and I don't know technique wise. I mean, I don't know if he should. I don't know. I don't think he should be in the internet. That's just my opinion. I think someone like Harriman should be given a chance there and see what he does. Maybe Miller at 5, Klaasen at 6, Temba Bavuma or Devalt, whoever performs the most consistently there at number 4. And then of course you've got Janssen. You've got Mirage when he comes back from his injury. Could see a Rabada and Nokia. I just think they all positive play. I'm talking one day internationals. I'm not talking
Yeah,
test matches now.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think Temba Bavuma. Come on, guys. I wasn't his biggest fan, but he put in a couple of good knocks recently.
yeah.
Surprised me. A little Brian Lara there.
Yeah, yeah, he really I watched that live. He's 100 at the Wanderers. I saw it live. It was
Wow.
amazing to see, like the way he absorbed the pressure. I could looked at the dressing room when those wickets were tumbling before
Uh
he
huh.
went on to score that 100. It was just amazing how he just took all the pressure off everybody. The
Yeah.
same in the last game as well. I mean, that 144 that he scored now in the ODI was
Yeah.
also really a bloody good knock. It's a pity that nobody could really hang around there and support him. I want
Yeah.
to get some more thoughts on your on others have an opinion on what you said with regards to Jordan Henman and Diego
Mhm.
Previs. I'm
Yep.
massive fans of both of those players. Like,
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, I've kind of tracked them from the beginning of their careers and tried to give them interviews and give them exposure. My
Mhm.
concern is we've seen the likes of Ryan Rickleton who have just completely destroyed domestic cricket, like consistently
Yeah.
scoring hundreds, etc. Tony DeZorzi has been doing it as well quite a bit at the Western Province in the Test arena. Can
Okay.
see how he is struggling a little bit to make that transition.
Yep.
KP for many seasons has been quite dominant in domestic cricket, struggling to make that transition. I'm a bit scared of giving these players unnecessary, like Jordan Ehrman and Deva Brevis are the type of players that play freely,
Mm.
they play for the love of the game, and they out there in the middle having fun.
Right.
Throwing them in the international arena when they still do have technical issues and technical flaws
Mm.
might set them back even further in their development. Whereas I
Mm.
feel that if they are amongst the Titans, like I think the Warriors have a very good coaching setup, very good batting coach, Titans as well.
Mm.
If they are there one more season, like I think one more season would do them more good than them being thrown in the deep end with all this pressure of international cricket. That's just my opinion.
Right.
Um, so that's why the likes of the others that are performing, because we do have the likes of Rickleton that should be taking his chance now. We do
Mhm.
have the like of Tony DeZorzi who should be taking his chance too. So
Mhm.
there are some other senior guys in domestic cricket that have been around there for quite some time and knocking on the door. Um, so just that's just my opinion on that one.
Y- Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but then again, look at someone like Sachin Tendulkar. He was thrown in at 16, eh? I'd
But he
say,
was but he
Yeah,
was scoring multiple hundreds at 16, 15, 16 already in domestic cricket.
right. I know. Yeah, he's just he's another breed. but
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know. Start breeding them in T20s. Give them a couple of matches here and there. See what they do. I mean, that's usually I
I agree
think
with you
South
on
Africa.
T20s,
Yeah,
100%. I think
yeah.
that that should be the place where they do get a chance. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you.
No, no, no. I was just saying. I think that's the route South Africa's kind of always taken is try to breed them in T20s and then, and then knock them in. Then maybe give them an ODI here or there, and then eventually Test match cricket.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully they're given the chance and not snatched up somewhere else. Like you also mentioned KP. Who's that? Who's KP?
Oh, so Keegan Peterson.
Oh,
In
Keegan
Test
Peter.
cricket.
Yeah, I nearly thought
Yeah.
you talking
No,
about
no,
the Kevin Peterson from.
no, no.
It's like he's long gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's also but I don't think he's performed on the international level like he should either. Eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Is and another one like talking of someone like that. I remember. I don't know why it came to mind, but JP Germany. I always felt
Yes.
he should
Another
have
one.
been. I always think I don't think he reached his full potential like he should. I remember that one knock he played against Australia, and all the Australians were saying how greatly
Yeah.
they rated him, and I thought. I don't know. He should have been another Herschel, but I mean, looking back in 20 years from now, I don't think people will remember that name too much,
Yeah.
unfortunately, as one of South Africa's greats. But I think he had the talent to go there. I don't know. Don't know.
You
I mean,
see,
not to say he wasn't good, but what was
mm,
he averaging at the end of his career? I think it was close to 40, maybe. I think he should have been averaging closer to 50. Eh?
yeah. I
Granted, his
think about
talent.
I
Yeah.
think the thing about our youngsters when we throw them early in, they raw, they're fresh, they're confident, right?
Mm,
And they go out, they play their natural game. But if they have technical flaws, international cricketers are going to figure you out quickly. And
yeah.
that I think is the fear of the coaches when it comes to someone like Alvarez. There's certain technical flaws that he has maybe in his game at test level that if that the coaches might perhaps think that they're going to figure him out because the bowlers are much smarter at international cricket, more accurate. Your
Yeah.
flaws get exposed when you're international level, and that's the thing that I like to protect our younger players if they are like, I mean, if Deva Brevis was scoring hundreds every third game
Mm,
in domestic cricket, then I would say yes, go give him an opportunity.
right.
Like the same thing with Jordan Herman. If he was converting all of his 50s that he's been scoring into
Yeah.
hundreds, then I would be
Mm,
saying, whoa, this boy needs to go. Like put him into the team. But
right.
there's still a lack there. I mean, that shows if he scores a lot of 50s and doesn't get over the line, doesn't
Mm,
push himself forward to that 100, that's a little bit of a flaw over there, I feel, in your mentality. Because if you can't score
oh,
domestically, if you can't
mm,
score hundreds domestically, you're never going to score 100 internationally consistently. It's like
right.
the levels
No,
are completely different. You might score one every couple of games, but
mm,
to at the top of the order, you need your players to be able to score consistently over a period of time, and
mm.
that's my concern.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, in terms of Diawald, I don't think he's got. I mean, everyone talks about his talent and whatnot, but if you look at his average isn't where it should be. But someone like Herman, I think he's averaging over 60 odd in first class cricket.
Yeah,
So, I mean, if you take a look at that average now, I mean, that's something else to consider. The average.
yeah,
I don't know. I think he deserves more than Bravos to be honest. So that's
yeah.
just
So
yeah.
we've seen the SA Invitational side, and they're in it. Oh, he's in it, Jordan Herman. So
He is really.
yeah, so hopefully, cross.
When is that gonna take place? Do you know?
So that's yeah. I'm just gonna pull up the article quickly. I did put it up on Cricket Fanatics
Uh huh.
today. They released that that's going to be a warm up game against the Netherlands,
Okay.
and it will take place. Let me just tell you quickly. It's a 12-man. It's an invitational 11 that they
Mm,
picked. It's just taking a while to load.
yeah. That's all good. So and do you have a? I mean, are you gonna read the team now, or is there a link
Yeah,
that we can check out? Or
I'm gonna read the team out now for you.
all right.
But you guys can go to clickfanaticsmag.com. It is there too.
And
It will be
that's
played.
your is that your magazine, eh?
Yeah, that's my mag. Yeah.
Nice.
the website the website is live as well. So
Okay.
on Tuesday, the 28th of March, they will be playing, and the team is going to be Tony DeZorzi is going to captain the side.
Mm,
It's a one day game.
mm,
Ethan Bosch is in the side with someone that I'm really
yeah.
happy to see there. Matthew Brzezinski,
Mm-hmm,
Otniel Bartman, Jordan Herman, Evan
mm,
Jones, Chepo Moreki,
mm,
Michlali Mpongwana from Western
yep.
Province, Vian Lubbe, Senator Mutasami, Senator Baklashile as a wicketkeeper,
Mm,
and Lesego Senokwani from the Northwest Dragons. So those are the players that they picked
interesting. And
for the
that's and
international.
what about? It's funny I don't see Brevis's name in there. But then
Yeah,
again, I'm
yeah,
glad Herman's in there. Like I said,
yeah.
that average.
Yeah, you see, I don't know where they go, what their actual plan. They said they have a plan in the press
Mm,
conference. They said that they do have a plan for Brevis. I'm not sure what the plan exactly is, but I'm sure they do have a plan because I have seen he's not the same player that we saw in that under 19 World Cup and in that first stint in the IPL.
mm,
He has tapered off a little bit
yeah,
with regards to consistency. And in first class cricket recently, he's been getting 40s and then he or getting 30s and 40s, but not making the 50. And then he got a 50 recently, which was very pivotal to the team actually winning as well. So I think there's a lot of development in his game as well. I know that people call him Baby AB, but he
mm,
isn't the 360-degree player like AB was at
yeah,
this time. He has one or two shots that looks exactly like AB de Villiers,
yeah,
but I think that leg side, playing the swinging, the short delivery, the swing delivery, and is a little bit of an issue still for him on the offside,
yeah.
which I think he'll develop in red ball cricket, in my opinion.
Right.
Because there's only a couple of games that Devil's played domestically. See,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen him a lot in the IPL. We've seen him a lot in the we saw him in the S19 at the World Cup
Yep.
and in the SA20. But domestically, I mean, the Titans
Not
have
too
barely played
much.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, any
Yep.
final thoughts, Jonathan?
No, that's it. Good
Okay.
speaking to you. Love the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for joining.
All
I'll
right,
chat
my
to you
man.
soon.
All right,
Bye.
you have a good one.
You. Cool. Let's just get a final couple of comments before I go, guys. Because I'm really tired. Klassen deserves a better bat sponsorship. JP was fantastic white ball player for SA, average close to 40 in ODI cricket 40 plus and T20 cricket for SA. Yes, he was. In Test Arena, I think Jonathan was talking about specifically. These players have technique problem. I don't want coach is doing to improve it. It's been two ODIs that he's been working with him. So just just hold your horses, just calm down a bit. Small sample size with Deerveld though. Yes, it is a very small sample size. I have a problem with the future captain Stag first, Markram now, Tony. Can't these coaches to stop with this? It's not a future captain thing. It's a SA invitation 11. You have to pick a captain, so they pick Tony. Markram is an opening batsman since grassroots cricket. He's so hard to watch when he bats at four, whereas when he's. I also think he should open actually. Brevis is in India now. Yes, we know. Jonathan Bird still has some time and work to do, I feel, because he's been injured a lot. Khalid, the Springboks set up a camp for the players who aren't playing a lot of club rugby. If you've noticed, the Springboks do this before every World Cup. Why can't we do the same? Cha-ching, ching. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell for all future videos. Also, don't forget to download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. We are working on the new era issue, which is coming out to you very, very soon this week sometime. I'll be working on it to finish it. We getting my last couple of articles in at the moment. People are getting their articles in at the moment. We will publish that very soon. If you want to help us grow and promote South African cricket, please become a patron today. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. Also, go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. To all the guys out there, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Take care, everybody. Be safe and enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace out.